Good morning, Mr. Krager. What do you got behind you?
Good morning, Mr. Carson. Well, I'm here to talk about how my students are setting goals for themselves across the entire spectrum. Not just for subjects, but really we're trying to look at some of the career goals that we've been talking about through our IB program. So what I have behind me is a wall that we trade out every month, and I sit down with the students at the beginning of every month, and we'll talk about all of our goals, and at the end of the month we'll see if we've reached them. So for example, this here is Abiso, and we've talked a lot about how Abiso is interested in becoming an expert in sports medicine, and so right now a lot of the work we're doing is our goals that are going to get him prepared to become a sports medicine expert, not just through middle school and high school, but also through college. He's also working on long division and complex fractions. Long division was something that we built on last month, and he's still continuing that work. We set our writing goals. He's working on elaboration with his ideas using more organized evidence and text structures. He is one of our advanced readers, so we're trying to push him up to a level U in reading. And then we also want to talk about some of our reading skills with him. He's using text evidence, using more author's intentions. And all of these cards are very specific for each child. Not just the goals that we're working on throughout our curriculum. I mean, fractions is, for example, something that every student is working on this month. But we are going back and we're trying to scaffold in some things that I think are really individualistic for each child. And I think it's really been helpful for kids to set their own goals, measure their own growth, and talk about it in discourse circles. So I'm pretty excited with some of the work we're doing for our goals of the month.
Have you learned anything about kids or
I'm learning more
teaching?
about my students than I think I ever have before. I find that, a lot of their motivations, conversations that they have with their parents at home. We have students that are going home and doing research in ways that I don't think I could have motivated before, because I think these students are excited to dive into their futures, and what better way to be IB than to have kids really think about, what they need to do to get there. So I'm having conversations I don't know that I've really enjoyed, especially in our one-on-one meetings as we set these goals every month. I'm learning a lot.
Cool. Can you talk a little bit about how this connects to the district's strategic plan?
Well, I think it's very much in line with what the district is trying to do for our students. It's allowing students to really think about the skills that they need to adopt to be successful. Right now, my students, for example, are talking about classes they could take in middle school and in high school, colleges that they could go to that have these majors in place. And then the next step is we're going to talk about businesses that could hire them from those colleges. And so I think the district is really trying to get our students to think about where they are in the community, where they are in the canon, and trying to figure out all of the steps that it's going to take for them starting here in 4th grade to get to be successful throughout high school and throughout college.
Thanks for sharing, Mr. Krager.
Thank you.
Have a good day.